All right. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all here again. Of course, the phone has to ring just as. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to tune into the live stream here. And I'm also going to silence the phone. Oh God, not another political ad. All right, so we're gonna play Titanic Honor and Glory today. I'm just waiting for people to tune into the stream. We only got 2 people watching at the moment, which is weird because normally we get like 50 people watching these Titanic streams. But hello, Evan. Hello, Raw Source. And then I'll go ahead and set this down. Okay. I don't know why Steam VR always insists on doing this. All right. Understand. Hopefully the music isn't too loud for you guys. So, yes. So, I was waiting to do this when they updated, Titanic Honor and Glory, but there's word that the new update may not happen this year. So I thought, why not keep playing it with you guys? So, I'll start off daytime. We'll do first class. Okay, we got 12 people, but yeah, there's the chat. There we go. Hello, movie scenes. Hello, Raw Source. Yes, I'm doing good. Granted Gaming says they have a new demo. No, they don't. This is still the same 4.2. So yeah. Like I said, I was waiting because they're going to update the demo. Right now, this demo has approximately 30%. Yeah, 30% of the Titanic on it, but the new version that they're talking about is going to have about 50% of Titanic. And so, yeah, that's a lot of Titanic, by the way. So, I was waiting for them to update it, and they simply just haven't announced a date, and a lot of the people following Titanic Honor and Glory, they think that we may not even be able to see the latest update until, next year. If we're lucky, Christmas of this year, but, maybe next year. So, from what I heard, like I said, 50% of Titanic will be in the new update. It'll also be better optimized, so that way more people's computers can run the game. A lot of the bugs will be fixed. Lots of new places to see, that kind of thing. But let's see. Pookie Smoochie says, I saw a video of someone showing the engine room. Yes, that's going to be in the new update. They're going to have the engine room. It's not in this version. But like I said, the update, which will be 4.5, that there's no announcement date as to when it'll be released, which is, funny because I've had lots of people message me over the course of the last 2 months saying, oh, did you know that they updated Titanic Honor and Glory? And each time I'm like, I get excited, but I'm like, no, they didn't update it yet. It's still the same 4.2. So we're all waiting for 4.5. Granny Gaming says, do you have a powerful computer? Because this demo looks very smooth. Yeah, I have a pretty powerful computer because of the fact that I do a lot of video editing. So I need lots of graphic power. I need lots of processing. Come on. This is the problem I have. Sometimes I just can't get the doors to open. There we go. Oh, that's a truck's brakes. I was like, it sounds like there's like a little girl screaming at the top of her lungs, but it's the brakes of a truck. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Um, I'm just kind of wandering around, you guys. I don't really know where to go or what you want to see or whatever. Usually the thing everybody wants to see is the bridge. To see the bridge, we have to go up here. There is like a really loud vehicle outside and it's really distracting. It has to happen. Like it was completely silent outside this morning. And right before I started the stream, all of a sudden construction trucks everywhere. I'm like, oh Lord. So this is crowning time. This is what the famous little carving at the top of the staircase is. For those people who are tuning in and you've never been to my channel before, I am not a Titanic expert at all. I just love exploring the Titanic on this game. If anything, I know a lot more about the RMS Queen Mary than I know about the Titanic. Movie Scene says, is this game only for PC? Yeah, it's only for PC. And this isn't even the game. This is just a demo version. It's got no interactive features whatsoever. It's just a demo. So the actual game that will take a couple years to develop from this point on, that game might be available on some consoles, maybe, because they did say that it is really difficult to program for not just computers but then consoles as well. They don't have at this moment the ability to do that, but who knows, maybe in the future there'll be somebody who will help them on their team to program stuff for consoles. But as far as we know, the game itself will also be PC only. Here's the Marconi room. Just give you a moment to admire that. Bowers the Wolf Lord says, I wonder how accurate it is. Well, because this is the demo, it's not going to be very accurate. And the reason why is because they don't want copycats to take all the research that they did, all the hard research they did for all the exact things that they put in here, and then replicate it. So the official game, when it's completed, will be the most accurate Titanic experience ever. You know, whether it is, you know, a museum or virtual, it'll be the most accurate. But because this is a demo and they don't want people copycatting them before they can even release their game, this isn't as accurate as it could be. And that's on purpose. I'm going to go close the window because the construction vehicles outside are really distracting. I know you probably can't hear it very well because my microphone's really good, but yeah, I can hear the vehicles through my headphones and it is unbelievably loud. So let me go ahead and just put you guys here so you can kind of look over and see the ship. I will be right back. Okay. Yeah. I was just like, I could hear the construction vehicles through my headphones and it was driving me absolutely bonkers. I was just kind of like, what the, so I love doing that. So that's the bow there. And some of the cargo hatches. Granny Gaming says, I wonder what game this will end up being. Well, what do you mean by that? It'll be a walkthrough experience, like you can explore Titanic just as we're doing here. It's not like it's gonna be like a get points and kill the bad guys kind of game. Like it's it's just like a virtual museum of Titanic. Evan says my computer can't handle ADEC. A lot of people's computers can't, and that's not necessarily your fault. It's just the. I think I'm lost. Oh, I went in a circle. Okay. Yeah, it's not necessarily your computer. A lot of people's computers can't handle ADEC, and it's just because this demo was never meant to be a demo. This version was meant just for developers to use to help them build the game itself. So it's like these are all these rooms are models that were never originally. See, I'm having trouble opening the door. Sometimes there we go. You just have to like keep clicking until it happens. But a lot of these rooms, like let's say this for example, it would be designed to look like this, so that way when they would work on the official game, they could use this as a model. So it's, it's not the most detailed thing. It's really, they use this as a starting point, as a blueprint. But then what ended up happening was it was taking so long to develop the official game that they had this weird idea. They're like, why don't we release all these rooms? They're presentable enough. They're like, why don't we release all these rooms into like a demo version of the game where there's no interactivity, none of the features that the official game will have, but it'll allow them to kind of walk through and explore. And so that's kind of what it is. So these are not the completed interiors you will see in the official game. In the official game, there will be a lot more detail. And of course, all this is in Unreal Engine 4, but all the new stuff of the game will be in Unreal Engine 5. Just, there will be a lot more details everywhere. It'll be incredible. But yeah, this demo, it never originally was intended to be a demo. They just kind of released all the spaces into it because they were like, well, people need something. They've been waiting for a while. And it turned out this was a really popular demo. Sorry, the main lounge is loading in, so when that happens, it kind of glitches everything. That's another thing they're working on with version 1.5 is that they're working on making everything just a little bit more good for people's computers. See, it's a bit glitchy because this room is the most detailed room on the entire ship. Granny Gaming says, how did you get the beep sensor sound? I have a, I don't know what the device is called, but it's a Go XLR. So it's designed to allow me to control sounds and audio for, because I do videos. So I have to be able to control audio and stuff like that. So it has a sensor button on there. It's got a sensor button. It's got a cough button so I can And then it's got mute buttons for individual audio things I need. Console port would be great at later date after PC. Yeah, you know, if they can do it, they want to, but it's a whole other thing. Like, you know, I think as far as my understanding goes, it's not like programming a game for PC at all, because a PC is like, it's kind of like universal, but consoles are like proprietary, you know, like each one has its own individual, you know, programming needs, and those needs are proprietary. So they would have to literally hire people that that actually do that for a living, that program games on consoles for a living in order to do that, you know. The people building this game, they're not, some of them are professionals, like they're professional like graphics designers and whatever, but a lot of them are just really enthusiasts who might use some of the graphic designing on a daily basis, but some of them not to the extent in which you know, this demo will require of them. At least that's my understanding of it. And so the fact that they even got this version done and to the detail that it's in is actually quite amazing. You know, when you think about it, they're just a group of nerds, you know, who really like Titanic and want to see it built, and yet they've gone and created, you know, like a Michelangelo of games here. So it is really amazing when you think about it. Because as far as I understand, the majority of that team do not design games for a living. Granny Gaming says, I'm surprised to hear you talking about Unreal Engine. Why? Yeah, this is definitely a higher quality version than Roblox. This is meant, like, they said that their intention of the Titanic Honor and Glory is that it will be the most accurate, most realistic virtual experience of Titanic that there is. And as you can see, that already is pretty much true, even for this demo version. And the goal is so that way people can not just experience it for fun, but for academic purposes. People can learn from it. They can see the architecture, they can see the design, and because the final version will be as accurate as humanly possible, you know, people can actually like learn from it, the interior designs and the engineering of the ship. And then, of course, in terms of historical accuracy, there will be ways to learn about the victims who died aboard the ship individually. You can go to their individual cabins when the game is complete, that is. You can go to their individual cabins and learn about them and who they were and, you know, stuff like that. So there are so many great uses for a game like this besides just fun, you know. And so that's one of those things I admire about this game. And of course, I know a lot of you are going to be asking, will it sync? There are currently no plans for the game that they're working on to sync. They said that eventually they might try to make it happen, but their biggest goal right now is just to complete the ship in Unreal Engine 5. And it's actually kind of funny. If you've been following what they do, they tried to build this the way like a normal game designer would build a game. You got the ship here, and then they tried to build the rooms individually. They would separate the rooms to various designers, and then the designers would build the rooms, and then they would try to fit all the rooms in place into the ship. But they kept having trouble because the rooms would not fit perfectly into the ship, and the ship couldn't have shear because I don't know if you know this, but when a ship that has shear, almost everything on it has to have a custom shape or design. Even the doorways are quite often custom to the room itself because of the fact that the curvature of the shear is not exactly, I don't know the words, but it's not like you can, it's not like a part of a circle. It is a gradual decline and a gradual incline, and it's a not like a linear increase of curvature, if that makes any sense to you. So therefore, like, almost everything on the ship has to be custom made, and so designing the Titanic in virtual reality as accurate as they could was simply just not possible. So what they learned was that they had to literally build the Titanic in virtual reality the way that it was built in real life. So right now, for the official game version, the Unreal Engine 5 version, they are currently down at the keel plates, installing individual keel plates, starting with the keel and going all the way up. They are literally building it like the Titanic would have been built, piece by piece, starting from the bottom. And that's not generally the way you build a game. And they, like I said, the reason why they had to do that was because they realized that the game wasn't going to nothing was going to fit properly realistically if they built it just the quick and easy way that games are normally built. So it is pretty interesting. So in that sense, it will also be quite accurate, simply because every single plate has to be installed. So pretty neat when you think about it. Actually, it's just funny that AJ asked, "Can you go on Titanic as it's sinking in the game?" I just answered that question, but I don't know if maybe it's because my chat is behind, and so you commented that before I answered it. But I just finished answering that question. Isn't the Guggenheim suite at the top of the stairs? I don't know. I actually don't know where each of the passengers' rooms are. If you could tell me a room number, I can try to find it for you, but I don't know. Not off the top of my head. This is the second class lounge. I know Thomas Andrews' room is at the top of the stairs. I think it was A deck stairs. A deck, A deck. Was it aft or was it forward? I don't remember. I think the aft grand staircase goes a little higher than the forward grand staircase. Oh, I'm sorry. No, the second class room we were in above was not the that was not the lounge. This is the lounge. The one we were in was the smoking room. I don't know why I thought smoking room, but or I don't know why I didn't think it was smoking room, but I am pretty tired actually. That is part of it. I thought I had a lot of sleep today, but I woke up groggy and I have never been able to shake it off, so They call this the library, to be honest, but I call it the lounge because, you know, this cupboard is the only thing that has books in it. So it's not much of a library, but they used it as a lounge. Oh, it's getting glitchy. I think the dining saloon is loading in. Yeah, I was right. It was the dining saloon. Pretty neat. Guggenheim stateroom is B84. Okay, I can go look for that. All right, so to get back to first class. Here we go. We'll go find Guggenheim's. I forgot I can run. This is the only area on this entire ship in this game that has shear. This was part of their experiment to see if they could make shear in Unreal Engine. And they discovered that they could, but it made it almost, it just made it so difficult for them to install rooms if the ship had shear. Okay, so this should be D deck. Go up to C, and once more to B. 8-4, so I actually don't, because this is Titanic and I'm not an expert on Titanic, I don't know whether we are starboard or port on it right now, so I'm just going to look at some room numbers and 5-1. Oh, Jesus. Well, what about in between? I think theirs was a suite, right? So it wouldn't be in between. It would be 5. Does that 5-1, 5-8-6-1? Okay. 8-4. B7-5. B8-7. B8-3, B8-5. Okay, so these are the even. So we got to go to the odd. B8-8. B8-4. B8-4. And I can't open it, so we can't go inside, but I guess that is Mr. Guggenheim's suite. B8-4. John Jacob Astor's cabin. All right, let's see. If you want to know the stats on my computer, it's in the description below. That's for people who want to know how I'm running this so smoothly. It's an even number, so it's probably going to be on this side. We have a little map here. Aster's is C62, C64. Oh, well, that's weird. This side is odd. Oh, jeez. All right, so I guess we gotta go to the other side. C62 and C64. Okay. This is the... Oh. This is C64 here. But that map is... Oh, God. That map is just screwed up. Where was I? Okay. C64, C62... All right, so he's got like a bedroom and a sitting room. C64. John Jacob Astor's room. Derpy says the main first class staircase faces aft, if that helps. No, because I often can't tell which staircase I'm at unless I'm on the very bottom of the staircase or the very top of the staircase. That's the only way I'll know. So it doesn't really. Andrew's room is A36. Yeah, it is. Now, Andrew's room is available to see. All right. Well, it's not here. So it's on the other staircase, which I gotta remember. Okay, so we can't go that way. So the other staircase must be through the lounge. And it gets glitchy while the lounge loads in. Oh, got stuck. You can walk through some of the chairs and tables. So Andrew's room and Father Brown's room are on the same area, so but I don't remember which side is which. So oh, here we go. This is Andrew's room. Ooh. So yeah, pretty cool. He's got all his blueprints of Titanic out. What I like is that even in Unreal Engine 4, you can see the texture of the wood. You can see all the little lumps in the what do you call it? In the glazing, the shiny part. I'm so tired. I don't even remember what it's called. And what's weird is you can actually see that there are like chips and holes in the wood, like as if someone tacked something up to it, almost like Andrews had like used some thumbtacks or push pins to tack up some of the drawings into the wood, because you can see the damage. Yeah. And the carpets, those always how do I... That's not it. That's not it. There we go. You can kind of kneel down and look at the carpet. I know you guys can't see this very well in 1080, but the carpet, it looks like there's fibers in the carpet, which is really cool. There's a lot of detail there. Really neat. One time I zoomed in on it and that was a mistake. From this distance, it looks like a real carpet. Like honest to goodness real carpet. But when you zoom in really far, it looks like a mountain range. So, all right. Dark Moon says navigation direction arrows would be a cool addition to the game. Yeah, I agree, because the thing about this is that I am not a Titanic expert. So I don't know where things are on the ship. I've gotten used to going through the ship on this game, and so I kind of remember where I'm going a lot of the times. But if someone says like, "Oh, you know, go to the Strauss Suite or whatever," I'm like, I don't know who that is. But if you describe the suite to me and I've been in there, then I probably remember how to get there, that kind of thing. But what would be really cool is to have like a little image of a map in the corner with like an arrow of like where I am and where I'm facing. That way I kind of know where I am on the ship. Because again, I don't know whether I'm starboard or port side because I don't know the ship very well. Now, if I was on the Queen Mary exploring this in virtual reality, I could tell you whether I was starboard or port side. But because I don't know Titanic very well, I couldn't tell you. Not unless I went outside and looked, which I can do. Well, I must be facing aft because that's the smoking room. Oh, no. I was facing forward. You see what I'm talking about? Like, yeah, I saw a smoking room, so I'm like, oh, I'm facing aft. But then I turn around, there's no door, which tells me that actually this is aft. So you see what I mean? I don't know my way around. I'll take you to one of my favorite places on the ship. This is the a la carte restaurant. Derpy says there's lots of deck plans available on an Encyclopedia Titanica if you want to pull it up to avoid getting lost. I can't. It's really complicated to do a live stream while playing a video game and pulling up images at the same time. I would be like going through my computer and you guys would see my desktop, and I don't want to do that. I only have one screen too, so it's not like I can like dedicate a separate screen to just doing Titanic and they have the other screen be the deck plans. Like, yeah, this is my favorite place on the ship because of all of the marquetry panels. I love marquetry woodwork. Now can you go to the main storekeeper's bunks on E deck? I can go to E deck, but I don't know where the storekeeper's bunks are. It's funny too because it is a beautiful ship, that's for sure. There's a lot of beautiful features, but it's like I always say about Titanic. It's beautiful, but only where it's at. Soon as you leave the designated beautiful areas, it ceases to be beautiful. Whereas the Queen Mary is different. You can't leave the beautiful unless you're going into a crew area. So, but on Titanic, you can still be in a passenger area that is not decorated. And that's one of those things I don't like about Titanic. On Queen Mary, they they, you know, every inch of it was luxurious. Even, you know, sometimes even crew areas were luxurious looking. Oh, here's the Maids and Valets Saloon. It's where they hung out and talked. Yeah, look, there's all their coat hooks for their jackets and hats and aprons. I love Titanic, but I often don't talk too much about it because I think I love Queen Mary more, and I think there's a lot of hate amongst Titanic fans about Queen Mary. They're like, oh, Queen Mary's not as luxurious as Titanic, and that is completely not true. The Queen Mary was 3 times as luxurious as Titanic, but because it's not Edwardian looking, people don't think it's that beautiful. Here's one of the little staterooms that are available. There's like maybe 4 staterooms on the entire demo that are actually fleshed out and you can walk into them. This is one of them. There's a little heater there. I like those little heaters. They're really cool. But yeah, so, you know, Queen Mary was way more luxurious than Titanic was, but because it doesn't look Edwardian, people don't think it's as luxurious. They go, oh, well, that's not as beautiful as Titanic. And I'm like, well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You know, just because it doesn't look like Titanic doesn't mean it's less luxurious. Oh, there's the barbershop. I already walked into the barbershop. Yeah, so now I know. Well, actually, yeah, now I know I'm at the aft grand staircase because it ends on C deck. And the other staircase extends all the way down to E deck. So why don't I show you the swimming pool? Once again, talking about the places on the ship where the beauty is only where it's at. Where's the toilet? George, the paleo guy, says, where's the toilet? Ironically, well, not ironically, that's the wrong word, but a lot of first class rooms did not have private toilets. Is this room open? Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, a lot of first class staterooms did not have private toilets. You had to be in a suite to have your own private toilet. And even then, it wasn't even that private. You shared with the suite next to it. What are we on, C deck? I'll show you. This is the Strauss Suite. The only reason why I know it so well is because we always visit it. This is the Strauss Suite. This is, in my opinion, the most beautiful private room on the on the Titanic. I was going to say the Queen Mary. On the Titanic, this is the most beautiful private room in my opinion. Just a beautiful room. But this is another example of how they shared bathrooms. So this is the sleeping quarters. This is the shared bathroom. So there's the toilet on that side. There's the tub and sink on the other. And then this door would lead to the suite next door. Unless I have that wrong. Let me see. See, there's that door. So if I go out this way, past one doorway, into the other. There we go, yeah. See, these are suites. Yeah, so you would have had to share the bathroom with the suite next door. So it wasn't necessarily a private bathroom. There's the safe in there, but you can't go, you can't go in there. But yeah, so, and then another example, bare steel with rivets sticking through. The beauty is all gone. There is no beauty. Really, they have like the White Star Line mat. They have the laminate floors. They have the wooden commode. But Everything else is just there's no decoration. So the Titanic is beautiful, but only where it's at. On the Queen Mary, everything was beautiful. They spared no expense. And on the Queen Mary, most first class rooms all had private bathrooms. The only ones that didn't were like the really, really cheap rooms. The ones that were like designed for maids and valets to stay in. Those ones often had to share, but that's pretty much it. But let's see. Derpy says luxury is subjective at the end of the day, but with ocean liners, I think I've narrowed it down to one of either two things: quality / amount of amenities, and quality / amount of decor. That's how I see it. I see luxury as the quality and the amount of the amenities and the quality and the amount of the decor. So yeah, I agree with that. Titanic has, a high quality decor, high quality amenities, but compared to Queen Mary, it is not at all the same. Queen Mary has a lot more amenities, higher quality of amenities, higher quality decor, a lot more decor than Titanic. So, and a lot of people don't want to hear that. That's the thing. A lot of people do not want to hear that because it bursts their little bubble. And so because of that, they think I'm a Titanic hater, but I'm not. I'm playing this game, right? I love Titanic. I really do. But it would be folly to think that, 24 years later, Queen Mary could not match the luxury of Titanic. Come on. If anything, luxury tends to increase with time because with time people have higher expectations. Now, whether or not you think something is beautiful is entirely subjective. Some people would say that ships like the like the Cunard Queen Anne are going to be beautiful. I'm like, I don't think it's beautiful, but then again, that's in the eye of the beholder. Is it any less luxurious because I don't think it's beautiful? No, I think it's pretty luxurious. I don't think it's beautiful though. Now, Queen Mary 2, I think that is a luxurious and beautiful ship. It's got its little quirks here and there, but it's beautiful. This is one of the little areas that everybody likes to. You look up and you can see the dome way up ahead. Liners from the past says, hello, Alex, are you able to go to the second class spaces? Yes. We've been going in and out of second class spaces throughout this tour. But I told people that we would go down to the pool room. Now we leave the beauty and enter the beast. That sounded weird. Now we leave the beauty and we go towards the less beautiful areas. Sounded so weird. Oh, gosh. I am exhausted, folks. And we go into the most beautifully ornate and decorated pool room ever installed on a ship. Yeah, no, it's okay. One thing I understand about Titanic's pool room is I don't judge it because this was among the first. So those of you who are going to be like, Alex, you're wrong. Among the first pools ever installed on a ship. And as such, I think that that probably had some kind of effect on how much they wanted to decorate the room. In later years, pool rooms would become more and more and more decorated and larger. What is interesting, though, is that this pool is located on one side of the ship. You often see on ocean liners after this that the pools are usually center on the ship. That way you don't have issues with, the pool affecting the rolling as much and stuff like that. But with this pool being literally on one side of the ship, that could create a weight imbalance. But that would have also meant that they would have created a heavy weight on the other side of the ship, which I'm not really sure what that was for Titanic. So there had to be something on that side of the ship that weighed it down just as much as the pool on this side of the ship. What it was, again, I don't know. We're entering kind of the backside of the Turkish Baths, which Queen Mary had as well. Turkish Baths are kind of like, in a way, they're kind of like a spa, but they're not quite like a spa. They are meant to give you therapy and, you know, like a physical kind of therapy, and it is meant to be a little bit relaxing, but mostly it's meant to be kind of just something to, what's the word? I don't know. It's meant to rejuvenate you, but Turkish baths are not necessarily comfortable. This is the electric bath. So there would be like a array of light bulbs inside, and it shines onto this corpse here, and it reanimates the corpse like Frankenstein. No, there would be light bulbs inside, and it would, they thought that electric light was therapeutic, so I don't know what they thought the light would do, but they thought it would help you. It doesn't. It's just electric light. This is one of the hydrotherapy rooms. I believe these are all manner of devices to spray water on you. They have a second hydrotherapy room here. And then someone once told me what these rooms were. No, it's not a sauna, although this could be a warm room. Again, I don't think it's the same thing as a sauna. It's a warm room, but not humid like a sauna would be. And then there's drying rooms. Someone said you would need to have drying rooms. This might be the drying room, to be honest, because you have your hydrotherapy, then you probably come in here, you know, to relax in the warmth and kind of dry out. This is what I'm going on based off of what people have told me. My phone is going to die. It kicked me out of my own live stream. Hydrotherapy room looks like a morgue. It does look like a morgue. All right, so people want second-class spaces. We'll use Scotland Road. You can kind of hear the boiler rooms from inside here. Let's see. This is, if we kept going, this would be third class, but now we enter second class like we were here earlier today. Why don't we do this at night? Because we have the ability to do this at night. So let's see. Quit to main menu. Am I sure? Of course I'm sure. I know what I'm doing. Explore demo 401, nighttime, second class. Begin. Now, in the official game, when it is done, you won't have to sign out of the game. Like you saw what I did. I had to exit the daytime and enter the nighttime. Supposedly, when the official game is released, you will be in the exact same uh, program, but you can adjust the daytime, and you can even adjust what time of day it is and the weather. So this is second class at night. We have started off where the second class people would have entered. So there would have been like various ways that they got aboard the ship, and this was where they would kind of end up. This is the base of the aft mast. This is the library, which doubled as a main lounge. This is the dining saloon for second class. Oops. It is a rather beautiful room. I think this dining saloon is more beautiful than the first class dining room. Now, it's kind of cool. Sometimes there are menus on display on the tables. Interestingly enough, there are no menus on display here in the second class dining saloon. But if there was, I would have read it for you. Ooh, we don't have a reflection. We're a vampire. Now, one of my favorite places to stand is over here in the corner. Because you can look this way and see like 3/4 of the whole place. How long have we been live streaming? An hour? Okay, let's see. Then I will end it in like 15 minutes if my phone lasts that long. Because my phone is what's giving me the chat, and I can't see your guys' comments if the phone dies. And I can't plug the phone in because I'm already using the cable for the camera. So, let's see. This is also second class. I believe some of these are staterooms. They don't have numbers on them, though. More second class. Is this the one that we can go down? No, this one's the one that's blocked. This is as far down as we can go when it comes to second class. But this would be towards the stern, so again, we're blocked from going too far. Like, I can't go any further. But, oh, that's scary. But yeah, this way over here would be the fantail stern, or clipper stern, if you will. It's technically a clipper stern, but some people. Fantail stern. Fantail stern would be like what SS Normandy had. Titanic did not have the same stern as SS Normandy. All right, so this is the third class. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. So when you get these green tiles, like we did down here, that's third class. The reddish orange ones that we were walking through was second class. But yeah, this is the third class lounge. Also technically a music room. And then almost identically on the other side is the third class smoking room. Men only, of course. And it's got its wall paneling. I think the smoking room is nice. It's a simple room, but it's nice. But then you look up and there's your rivets and there's your exposed beams. So like I said, on Titanic, the decoration is only where it's at. Maybe we'll go back to... Oh, that was weird. That poster looked like a person for a second. I was like, who is looking at me through that window? We'll go back to second class. So the red tiles, that's second class. I don't believe there are any second class rooms we can enter. There might be one somewhere, but I don't know. I don't know if the chat is keeping up. Aha, the chat was behind. Oh, this is the purser's office, by the way. Justin says, do you know if the project to build a real-life exact replica of the Titanic is still a thing? Exact replica? I don't know anybody who was going to build one. There was going to be two different ideas to build similar, but not replicas at all. They would not have been anything close. There was Blue Star Line's Titanic 2, which was going to be a cruise ship that outwardly looked like Titanic and inwardly looked only a little bit like Titanic. And then there was going to be the Chinese theme park Titanic, which was, again, outwardly going to look like Titanic, but on the inside was going to be completely different. It was going to be a shopping mall and entertainment center. So neither one was going to be a full replica, and both of those were canceled anyway, so there's no... But if there was another one, a third one, I don't know. Vortex says, I like how two companies, Cunard and White Star Line, have different goals. Cunard's goal is to have the fastest and biggest ship, while White Star Line strives to have their passenger in good comfort, but not really fast. That, I think, is a slight misconception by people. It's not like Cunard... There's this big misconception that Cunard sacrificed comfort for speed. That's not necessarily the case. Cunard was extremely luxurious, just as luxurious as White Star Line. The difference, though, was that some Cunard ships were built for the sake of capturing the blue ribbon. Unfortunately, a lot of times in the old days when they built the fastest ships tended to be a little bit more uncomfortable because of the vibrations. And the vibrations, depending on the ship, had a completely different cause altogether. White Star Line used to try to compete for the ribbon. They had a few blue ribbon holders in the past, but the first time they ever decided to not build a flagship designed for the blue ribbon was with RMS Oceanic of 1899. They were building that ship and they were going to make it a blue ribboned racer, but they kind of looked around and said, you know, look at what all these ocean line companies are doing and how, you know, they're building the fastest ships, but all the fast ships are just, they just vibrate really badly. And Cunard was going to start using turbines from that point on. And so White Star Line was like, you know, let's just not do a blue ribbon. We'll just try to maintain our luxury. the idea wasn't to out luxurize Cunard. I mean, granted, of course they want to try, but Cunard was, like I said, just as luxurious as White Star Line. But they figured that by reducing the vibration, by simply not trying to have the fastest engines, it would result in more comfort for the passengers, and they were right. The passengers ended up really liking the fact that that Oceanic and especially the Olympic class ships just did not suffer from the same kinds of vibrations. So they were right in that sense. But yeah, there is a big misconstrued idea that that Cunard purposefully sacrificed luxury for speed, and that White Star Line sacrificed speed for luxury. And it was just kind of like someone said that some time ago, and people started thinking that that was, you know, the full truth. This is the multi-purpose room for third class. This, in the movie Titanic, was seen as the room where Jack and Rose were dancing. It looks a little different because in the movie they didn't show these ventilation pieces in the center. They created one big open area. But yes, so Derpy. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm going by what I read. I have this book about Oceanic, and the book claims that it started with Oceanic, so, but I mean, every book has a contradiction. That's what I've kind of learned over the years, is that you pick up a book and it claims something, and then the next book claims it completely differently. So, but yeah, I'm just quoting my book about Oceanic. And then one of these doors, I don't know which one. Maybe it's the ominous, like, black door. I don't know. But one of these doors is for the Sergeant at Arms. If we keep going back here, we get, you know, to more third-class cabins. These stairs go back up to that multi-purpose room we were just in. Kobe says that the only Cunard ships they like is Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth. They're the only ships... wait, because White Star Line ships did a great job at making the ships outside look cleaner and less cramped. I mean, I think the Olympic class were the ones that looked cleaner and less cramped, but I mean, again, you look at other White Star Line ships and that's not necessarily true. This is the boiler room. There isn't much to see. In the next update, we'll be able to go inside these coal bunkers and see everything for ourselves. These are the furnaces. We'll also be able to explore a little bit more of the boiler rooms. This is where the engineering crew would come down through this hallway here. With the update, there won't just be like a wall here and a dark room. There'll be a spiral staircase on either side, one for going up, one for coming down. And then it'll go all the way up and you'll see all the decks above. That's all crew spaces. And we'll be able to explore the crew spaces with the next update. Whether that update happens this year or the start of next year, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. We'll just stand here for a second. And if you went all the way up there during the daytime, you could look up through the grate and see the funnel. Because this wall here, the other side of this wall, is the exhaust shaft. All right. Let's see. Mark Cooper says surprised that White Star Line didn't paint the second and third class walls military gray and just be done with it. That's funny. More first class spaces. Oh, but some of these are crew, actually. There's the elevators. I forgot which deck the elevators are stopped on, because you can go to one of these decks and walk inside the elevators. I don't think it's D deck. No. Maybe C deck? Sad with Books says, is it okay if I see the Promenade deck? Sure. Why not? Maybe that'll be the last thing we do here. No, it's not C deck. Maybe B deck? Ah, here we go. So this is first class lift. Ceiling panels are open. Unlike a modern elevator, it doesn't have like air conditioning units, so the air was cycled in and out of the car. Every time it went up and down the elevator shaft, it just pushed air in and out of the car. Once again, we have no reflection. And yes, you could sit. All right, let's go see the Promenade. Alrighty. So some of the Promenade is not accessible, but I'll try to take you to the areas that are. I think I have to go where? Through the lounge again. Oh, at least you guys will see the lounge at night. here's another area on the promenade deck. But we'll go further this way. Because there is an area on the promenade that we can literally walk. Forgot to open the door. Some of these doors, I forget that they don't open. All right, so this is the promenade. These chairs, if you're wondering, they stop you from going further because in this version of the demo, not all of the promenade has been fully fleshed out. Technically, if I were able to jump over these, I might walk down there and then suddenly fall through several decks. So there is no jumping in this game, by the way, so I can't just jump over the chairs. If I go to the other side, we can walk a bit further down. So, see, just a little bit further down. Let's see. And there we are. So supposedly, in the next version of this demo, you should be able to walk the entire length of the promenade on both sides. Supposedly. Do you see that? Oh, it has something to do with moving the screen. There's like a light in that room, and when you move the screen just a little bit, the light brightens, and then it dims, and then it brightens, and it dims. I was like, what in the world? But then, yeah, that was really weird. You know, as you can see, I get kind of the heebie-jeebies in this game because you're alone on this ship. It's completely empty and quiet, and sometimes it can just be really eerie. Especially like when you walk past these rooms and your mind plays tricks on you. Sometimes I feel like I see people, but I'm like, that's not possible. This game doesn't have anybody else on it. Like, so, but it is a little bit creepy in that way. This is looking aft towards Le Poop Deck. So we can go up to the boat deck, and I'll leave you guys there. Let me see. I forgot to get up to the boat deck. We have to go to the other staircase. Let's see. Ugh, back through the lounge again. Oh, jeez. Let's see if it'll let me run. No, it won't. As each room loads in when I get close to it, it completely glitches the whole thing. All right, there we go. Well, this is a beautiful sight, actually. At night, the dome looks like this. Really pretty. I like it. Ivan says, loved your Spruce Goose video. Thank you so much, Ivan. I worked really hard on that video. I can't exit out that way. I have to go this way. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, the Lusitania experience is still under development. They said months ago that they were going to release it. So it was like it was going to release before summer, and then here we are almost at the end of the year and there's still no sign of it releasing. I was looking forward to the Lusitania experience though, that's for sure. Because Lusitania, I like Lusitania more than I like Titanic. So I was really looking forward to that. This is the Compass Tower. Probably the highest point that a person, not a passenger, but just a person in general could get unless you went up to the top of the funnels. Dark Moon says, is the entire boat deck accessible? Not 100% of it, but quite a lot of it is. As you can see, there are chairs that block my way. I can't go out on this side, but there are areas down here that I can go. So let me see. Can I get out this way? Is there a staircase over here? No, I have to go around. So if we go this way. Now, where this area ends is just past this motor here. We can't go forward of this. Besides, this is for crew only, just forward of this, because that's where the bridge is. But if we go this way, we can go pretty much all the way down the entire length of the boat deck. Now, supposedly, in the next version of this game, you should be able to go a lot further. Oh, this doorway, by the way, takes you down into the promenade. So as you can see, they've blocked this, so I can't go to the other side. This is one of the domes. I think this is the dome over the aft grand staircase. This is one of those areas where we can go to this side. They've closed the gate here, so I can't go. But you know, there's this walkway. We can go up here. Through this door should be the dog kennels. We can't see inside. It's just pitch black inside, but and we can go this way and overlook the ship. Okay, so what time is it? 3:25? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end the live stream, but if those of you want to see me working on my model railroad, for those of you that don't know, that is my model railroad, and I'm currently going to be doing some work on it. And yeah, so if you want to see that and you want to follow along, I'm going to be filming it for, where's my, oh yeah, this one. I'm going to be filming it for this YouTube channel, but I'm also going to be live streaming it right now on my second channel, which is Alex Adner. So that is Alex, A-L-E-X, and then second word Adner, A-D-N-E-R. That's the second channel. And in the next couple of minutes after this live stream is done, I will start live streaming to the other channel to show you what I'm working on and stuff like that. And it might be a couple hours long, that kind of thing. So if you want to see that, you can. Otherwise, yeah, thank you guys so much for, I'll even put it in the chat right here. So I'll just spell it out because I don't feel like getting you guys a link, but so that's the name of the second channel, and it's got like a picture of a brain, so it's kind of cool. Anyway, yes, all right, and I will put out like a thing that will that you guys can like check in for the start of that live stream. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you all